All right. Looks like we are live. Yes, we are. Hey, Ryan. How are
Hello.
you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm wearing my Muley
I
sweatshirt.
just ordered one. We'll see if I get it. I didn't have it in time.
Oh, you didn't get one?
No, no, not for no, but they had it on the swag store, so I've ordered it.
Mm. All right. All right. Cool. Hey, so how's it going? How is life after Dreamforce?
Oh my. Well, it's been catching up on work and and I don't know. It's been just getting back into the swing of things. It's my first Dreamforce ever. I got a lot out of it. It was didn't know what to expect. I kind of knew a little bit what to expect. I've been to lots of conferences, but yeah, Dreamforce is its own thing.
Yep. Yep.
It was really
It's
cool meeting all the MuleSoft community members at the mount. There was a mountain. I don't know if everybody on the stream knows. In the middle of one of the rooms. There's that MuleSoft mountain, and so we all would kind of congregate around that. It was cool.
yeah. It was like watching celebrities hang out. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hola, Ram. Can you send me the link to your Dreamforce session? That's a great question. I actually don't have it.
It's on
uh,
Salesforce Plus. I bet we can get it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna look for it. I hadn't thought of that. I'm still kind of like just trying to sleep and recover. yeah. All right. So any point raise. Exciting. Can you maybe give a quick recap of what happened on season one for people that didn't see it?
Oh my! Well, we unveiled season one here on the stream last month, and we had a bunch of racers. So it's an API programming challenge where well, we learned on the stream what it was, how to make it work, and we had 10 racers, and you guys figured out how to break it by the end of season one. Oh, I got an echo going. There, that's fixed. And I have to close the tab of the Twitch stream. I fixed it, and so everybody had times in like 1 and 2 milliseconds. That was awesome. I was so glad that. I mean, it's not what we intended, but that's the fun of programming challenges. So we did. We made the track a little harder this year. Tried to get rid of the glitch times. um, so I'm gonna I'll unveil that. But we ended up with 10 racers, and I had some leaderboards last season of who was the fastest, who tried the hardest, who did the most races, and what was the last one? Oh, we had some lap stuff that nobody found. There's Easter eggs in these races, and there was some stuff nobody ever found. That's okay. Each season we're going to play around with that some more. We have decided to do multiple seasons. There is we now. I've got other people helping me on it because it's turned out. Oh, and you guys overloaded. That was cool. You played so much that you overloaded the Object Store V2 in CloudUp that it was running on. So we had to rebuild the race engine to run on Redis this season. So I don't know if we want to get techie in this call, but we can. So we're running on Redis Cloud now, and it's not that expensive, but we'll see how much data it can store. It's going to make me optimize the data because right now we're storing it in JSON. Redis has a much more efficient way to store it, and I'm just shoving it in there in JSON right now. But I don't know if we want to do. We can do streams about the implementation, or we can just play and race and see how the new season is. So, but yeah, I wanted to announce to all of you, season one is here. I mean, season one is over. Season two is here. We started it kind of quietly at Dreamforce last year. So why don't I? Can I put a? I don't know if I can put a link. How do I do that? I have a link.
You can send it to me and I can
Yeah, yeah, I'll
publish
do
it.
that. We have one of our team members. I should give everybody a shout out. Um, so we have one of our members is Whitney Akinola, who's coming up in the MuleSoft community fast, and she made us a cool front page for the race. So I'm gonna give that to Alex. Also, I didn't bring him with me. Or did I? I might have brought him with me. I made little business cards for the race, and I was handing them out at Dreamforce.
Yep.
So
All right, let me post
give
it.
everybody that
Ooh,
one.
that looks cool.
It does.
I haven't tried anything because I figured I will do it on the stream, so I don't have any advantage. But yeah,
Yeah,
that looks so cool.
it doesn't it?
So, are you gonna share your screen,
No,
or
you
am I
go
gonna
ahead.
share my
I'm
screen?
I'm I'm always. I mean, I can. If we're gonna get into the code or anything, if we decide to go look at how it's implemented, I'll share my screen. But if we're gonna play, I won't. I don't drive on the track. I just make the track.
Um, what if you show first the summary of,
Yeah,
again, for people that didn't do season one, so they can start doing season
sure.
two, and then figure where to go from there.
All right, it's giving me all these tips. All right, Wizard McGish. That's a long story to why I'm calling him a wizard. That's not this stream, but hello, McGish. Um,
Endpoint raise GPT coming soon.
oh, that'd be fun. I don't know. There may be some of the, I'm not going to unveil any Easter eggs yet. so,
All right.
so this is
Okay,
the
I see your
race.
screen.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, this is the race. Any Point Speedway, we call it. It is implemented behind the scenes. So if you scroll down with a um, Any Point developer portal. So the whole thing runs, well, almost the whole thing. The whole thing in season one did run in only MuleSoft software. So this season we had to upgrade the backend to Redis instead of the object store. So you can see there's a Hall of Fame here, and you can see who got the best times. And no, probably five people found some kind of hack that I never. Maybe you can share what you found because I don't know how you did it, but you guys got it way down to like 10 milliseconds or 2 milliseconds. Um, that's pretty amazing. So I can give everybody a shout out. Congratulations to Ryan Carter, the winner of season one. Apparently, he beat Alex by such a small margin that it's less than a millisecond. So I don't have enough decimal places to say why Ryan was faster than Alex, but they both got, under 3 milliseconds anyway. Alex was very close second last season using MuleSoft. So Alex was the only racer to try with different software with different accounts. And then we had Pranav Davar for third place. Congratulations on your bronze medal, Pranav. And then Samuel Gomez and Abdul Manam Ahmed are both fourth and fifth with a time of 10 milliseconds. So those are the five racers that found some kind of interesting, that I would love to hear about, some kind of interesting shortcut in the track. So what is the track, everybody? You see all the racers from season one. One of these was a student. I teach MuleSoft classes, and one of these was a student in my class who decided to do a race after class. So that was cool. Let's shout out to Tommaso. So how does this work? What I found is running the race. I have a news page. So if anything happens during the race, I'm going to give you guys news on there. That's just another API portal. But how does it really work? It gives you basic instructions, but this is not, I really like programming challenges that make you think. So you have to think of stuff. I'm not going to give you the step by step to do the race. You're going to have to work it out. So you somehow have to get access to this race API, whatever that is. And then you got to implement your own. And this is new in season two. So season one didn't have a racer API. Season one just had a race API. Season two now has something called a racer API, whatever that is. Alex. So I won't say more about that. Then you got to work out how to register yourself as a racer, start a race, and finish a race. And what we saw last season is one of the things that's not documented here, but it is documented in the API, is there's a way to do laps. So you can optionally, you can run laps in your race. So the API is documented down here. This is all just RAML, Anypoint platform. You can see we are now on Race API 2.0. So that's for season two. Race API 1.0 was the one that didn't have a racer API. That's what they all got this 1 millisecond on. So if I go back to that one, this is what season one was. You had to start your race, and then you had to finish your race, and however long it takes you, that's what you're racing. That's how long you have. So that's what we did in season one. Do you want to tell me what I don't know about how you did 1 millisecond or 2 milliseconds?
To be honest, I don't know. I just deployed a MuleSoft application to Cloud Hub, which basically just gives like the two calls, one after the other one, and that's it. I left it running, and
Oh,
eventually it got to that. So I don't
You
really
want to
know.
see how much you left it running
Yeah,
before?
I
So before we broke Cloud Hub Object Store, so we did the race on August 8th. That was the Twitch stream. August 17th was when you guys killed my Object Store V2. So you ran way more than 79,000 races, but it wasn't able to update the leaderboard anymore because you. Now, I saved all that data. I got it out of Object Store V2. That's a whole story, how I got it from there into Redis. And I recorded some videos, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to edit those and put them on YouTube. I've got 48 hours of footage. We'll see what I'm going to do with that. but but anyway, you had at least, I remember when I was looking at it, you personally had at least 250,000 races run, and you won the Perseverance prize. So just in the first week and a half, you did 79,000. And then I had to throttle it back and make it was doing more per second, and I had to throttle it back and make it less per second. So season
cool.
one final results. We also have who did it first. So you can see August 3rd, Alex tried it with Postman. Did we run it? I thought we did it on the 8th. Maybe we did it on the 3rd. Must have been the 3rd. Because look
I
at all
don't
that.
remember.
Yeah. There's all those people on the 3rd. So all of you who are watching the stream, you can do season 2 right now. You don't have to wait for us to finish presenting it. The link is
Yep.
on. You already have the link. You can. So the way the race works is when you run a race, it's going to go update the Hall of Fame. Now I can tell nobody's run it yet because this is still here. So as soon as the first racer finishes, we're going to have season 2 start. And what the application does is whenever race results have been recorded, it's going to go up. The Mule application uses the Exchange APIs to update the leaderboard. So these are live leaderboards. So season 1 best times will soon not. It'll look more like this with your season. It'll say season 2 final results and have all these top 10 lists on here. So that's what's going to happen once some people run the race.
All right.
Yeah.
So can I stop my applications running
Well,
from
yeah,
season
they're
2?
racing season 1, and so they're not going to record the results for this race anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop them. I found interesting that the Postman, because I have two GitHub repos that are running, and the Postman one was running for maybe like 3 days more than the MuleSoft one, but still the MuleSoft one got more out. So I found that interesting. And also like the MuleSoft times were way less than the Postman
Yeah,
times. So
and I'm
that
not
was
too
cool.
surprised by that because what MuleSoft is, the MuleSoft one's running right in Cloud Hub, right where my race is running. So
Yeah.
I haven't made it fair. If you racers decide to run in MuleSoft, you're going to have a faster race than somebody who tries to build it in as an Amazon Lambda or something because it's not in Cloud Hub. So
Yeah.
there is an advantage for Mule in this race.
Yeah. All right.
We got a
So
question from Ram. When
where?
are you coming to Code Live on Salesforce developers? Because I don't even know what that is.
In YouTube, if you search for Salesforce developers, you get to their channel and they do by basically like live streams
Oh, like this.
called Code Live. Yeah.
Yeah, we could go. No, I don't know. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to talk to a developer advocate, so me or Akshata,
Mhm.
and we can get you on the schedule.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So then, should we get started, or you want to give the technical perspective? What do you prefer?
I think I'd rather have some racers. So if you guys want to try to code along with Alex or try to beat her to it, there is a prize for being first. So if you can get, Alex is going to do it. But if you get done before her, then the old neighbor is going to be before her. So.
All right. Let's see. So this is super cool, by the way. Kudos
Yeah.
to Whitney. I wonder what technology is this? Is this like WordPress?
No, it's definitely not WordPress. We don't have WordPress. I think the
Mm.
site, there's a product called Kajabi, but I don't know if she coded it by hand or if she used the host. She's a coder, so she probably coded it herself. Are you? She's not on here, is she? We could
Well,
ask.
this was cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
All
link
right.
this video on there too.
Yep. Register today.
Mhm.
And then it takes me here. I already had it open because I was picking at that. All right. So we're here in Point Race API version 2. Okay. It's a programming challenge. Gain access to the race API, implement your racer API, register yourself, start a race, finish your race. Okay. We have the endpoints to register and the racers, racer ID, start, race ID. Yeah. Looks same as the last one, maybe not. Okay. All right. So let me open my Postman just to do it quickly. Oh, Pranav is here. I beat you, Pranav. Sign out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure you all can be quicker than me. It's taking me forever. Close all tabs. Don't save, don't save, don't save. All right. Brand new. Let's just create a call. I have to log in. I will create a new account because I don't think I have a one that is working right now. Alex Martinez.
How many accounts do you have?
I am in 24.
I don't have track anymore. You might have. I might have more than you actually. I used to make one every week for class.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is 24. Not a robot. I
That's how you know
agree.
you number them.
Yeah. It's literally the same user, just changed the last thing.
Mhm.
What is this? Oh, yeah.
So, okay.
All right. I'm here. Now request access. Season 2, application. I don't remember how I named it last time. I'm just going to do a Martinez Mule.
Well, this one's okay. This is your Postman one, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to send it with. I'm honestly not going to create another repo. I'm just going
Okay.
to stick to MuleSoft.
Yeah.
Oh, warm up, qualify professional. Let's do warm up. 2 requests per minute, 100 requests per day. Oh, okay. Or the other ones.
You're
30
lucky
per
I'm on.
minute.
I have to approve qualify.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries.
But I'm
I'm just
on.
checking it
So
out.
yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let's do warm up first. Okay. And I don't mind if you all see this. So,
All they can do is race for you and give you
yeah,
better times.
authorization. Was this better? No. It was basic, I think. Don't remember. Okay. Close. Okay. And then register post production season 2. Let's take this. Or actually, I can just do it here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it here. That's my client ID, my client secret. Okay, display name. Let's do Alex. Email.
We have a bug report from George. I will pay attention to that. We are actually. I have to give a shout out. There's two other. There's Rook Aresu and there's Jesus Bravo that are both helping me work on the race. So there's on the homepage, George. There's a issues link. It'll take you to the GitHub repo. You can post an issue, and we actually are paying attention. You have
Hmm.
customer support.
All right.
Let's see though. Try it. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I also see like forbidden.
Oh, that's weird.
So let me try it here. Raw, Jason. Hey Ryan, it's JC.
Hey JC, your name is funny on here.
You just found it. Yeah. Okay. Then the URL. I remember something like this happened last time, but I don't remember if it was the same thing. Oops.
Wonder why the try it. Yeah, he said it works in Postman. I don't know what's
Yeah.
different between API console and Postman.
Oh, valid client ID or secret.
Oh, did you put it in headers?
Ah, no.
You
Okay.
gotta check
So I
the
have to.
API spec. Yeah.
I don't want to.
I mean, when I
Okay.
first made it, I was trying to really. It was kind of like a way to show the point of having API portals. So I really
Yeah.
used everything about Ramble API documentation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Client ID, client secret.
I think basic might be better. I might do that next season. If you guys,
Okay.
somebody has to make me an issue. I don't have real users. I have free users. So the only way you guys can tell me what you want is GitHub issues right now. Maybe we'll add something else later. So
Yeah.
communicate with me on GitHub.
Okay.
There we go.
Got that. And then start. Okay. Can I just applicate? Yes. Oh, there's a typo here.
Yeah, I see that. That's probably what's up with the forbidden too. I could
No.
fix that right now if that's easy.
No. The registry doesn't have it.
Only start.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a typo. You didn't provide a racer ID.
Oh, right. Okay. So let's see if I can do it from there now. Racer ID. Race URL. Now I have to read. Do I need to change the race URL?
Keep reading I tried to write it at
I don't want to read. Okay.
No, up at the top.
At the top?
Yeah, just read that whole thing.
Using the URL provided in the request body. Uh, I don't follow. Your
There's a
race
link.
token will be sent to your Racer API. Oh! Oh, so I need to implement this?
Yeah, and at the top there's a link to another API spec.
Oh, shoot. Oh, that's more work.
Yeah. You're not gonna get 1 millisecond now.
Sneaky. Okay. Build your racing app according to this API. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that makes it harder. Okay.
capital C client ID. Oh my. Is that what the console is doing? That's crazy.
That sucks.
That sounds like an API console bug. Hello,
Hey,
Isel Marin.
Edgar.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Latest rest token for input. Okay. Oh, well.
so
Sneaky, sneaky.
yeah, last season I told you we could do it with Postman. I don't know if you're gonna. Now I did. If you want to see how I tested it, let me give you a link for testing callbacks. This race API is a callback, right? So you're
Yeah.
gonna post something to the race, and it's gonna do a callback to you. So this isn't. I don't. I would love it if MuleSoft had a tool like this. I found a tool called Mockbin for testing callbacks. Um,
Okay.
I'll put a link in. You could have a link, and since you have it, it would only be fair for all of the viewers to also have it. So if you want to share
For
it with them,
sure.
that would be fair of you. So it's a way to make to test callbacks.
Okay. Copy. Paste.
Yeah. So from
All right.
George's research, my API console is not good. So we will need to use Postman or Anypoint REST client or Advanced REST client, or you could use what's the other one, Insomnia. And then this is a way to make callbacks that called bins. And I was
Huh.
using this when I tested the race, so I can tell you it is possible to finish if you use this.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, something I learned to save you some time on the stream is, and everyone who's listening gets the same hint. Mock bins, when you create a mock bin, whatever you create, it's final, it's permanent. You can't modify a mock bin after you make it. So if whenever you make this one, if it's not how you want it, you're just going to have to go back and make a whole new one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after I have that, I will be able to put here the URL, and this will give me the token. Yeah. No. Tracer ID?
Just read the that's at the very top of this portal tells you what happens.
Uh, oh,
Your
okay. It's
the very
effective
first sentence.
response with the
Your
Racer
race token will be
ID.
sent.
Yeah. To your Racer API using URL.
So that's where the
Yes.
token's going to go, is the callback.
Ah.
You don't get it back in Postman.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then you do the start and then you do the finish with the Racer ID. Request bin is awesome. Great effort and love the fun involved. I know. All right. Huh. I kind of want to do this with MuleSoft though,
Yeah.
because it just seems cooler. But yes, as Pranav says, this means we need to have live code development as well. Yes, definitely. All right, I'm gonna take some moments to just take it all in. In the meantime, do you maybe want to share what you did with
Yeah.
like Redis and everything?
Yeah, and we'll let people compete a little bit. And seeing the uh, way the track was made might make it might make it. I don't know if it helps. If you're on the stream, you have a chance to use that. I don't know if there's any reason it'll help, but it might just be fun to see how it works. So let's see here. First of all, Anypoint Speedway has a staging environment now as another business group. I tried doing it in two orgs and had all kinds of problems. So let's see. I don't know. I'll show you the Cloud Hub deployment. So you are sending your requests to a Cloud Hub application, and I have the code open down here for the race. The code is also in GitHub. So the same one that has your that you file issues on, that's the code. That's the code. So everybody can see the code for the race if you want to go look at it. So this is the app that you're actually hitting. It's right now running on 2 replicas, 0.2 V cores. Last season, I played around a lot with the scaling of it because we were using Object Store V2 and it was using a ton of RAM. So anyway, this is what we're running on now. And I don't know, let's see if we have any traffic so far. Yeah, there's some stuff since the stream started. All right, you guys are getting busy. I love this about Mule that you can see that stuff. Let's get into the code and see what happens. So in the back of the data for the race, I'll show you, this is what I usually do with integrations. I showed you the front end is, of course, the API you've been looking at here in Design Center with, I'm sorry, in Exchange with all these endpoints. So we made a REST front end that has register and start and lap and finish. Those are the things you can do as a racer. In the back end, we now have a Redis database. So Redis is a data platform. It's a RAM-based database, so it's not SQL. It's a bunch of keys and values. And I really love Redis because one thing I love about Redis is their documentation. So this is an example of a command. So you send Redis commands like this one means remove an item from a list. Okay, lrem, you give it a key. You can interact with Redis on the command line and it's very natural. You give it commands and it follows your directions and it just creates a data store of keys and values. So which is what we needed for the race anyway. So Redis has the most basic thing in Redis is just get key and you get a value back. So if you just start with get and set, there's another one called set. That's really that's enough already to use Redis. You can go do things with Redis with just get and set only, and just put stuff in and take it out. It's kind of like Object Store and Object Store. This one is like retrieve, right? And that's already a basic use of Redis. But as you can see, there's a whole lot more that you can do with Redis. It's a very powerful key value store. So anyway, we are using Redis Cloud. And I have a account I registered in 2019. So somehow I got some kind of grandfather pricing, which was lucky because this is the first thing I had to pay for the race. But I am paying 5-year-old pricing instead of current pricing, which is I'm very happy for. So thank you for that, Redis Cloud. If you guys want to come on the stream and you can see how much season 1 took. That's what I ended up exporting out of season 1. It was 665 megabytes. And it says memory, and it's not lying. Redis actually stores all of its data in memory. It doesn't put it on disk. You can make it back up to disk, and I did that. But as you can see, your production data was really big in our Redis Anypoint race database. So I have this database. Don't worry, you won't see my password. You can all, it's hidden. And that's where the data for the race is. I hear some alerts. I don't know if somebody has questions. Should I come back? Ooh, tunnel. Let me get off the tunnel. Oh, tell me if there's questions. I'll just keep going.
Yeah. No, just Jim saying that Redis is a nice resource.
Yeah. Well, and it's wicked fast. It is so fast.
Yeah.
Redis is super
he
fast.
says, get Redis to sponsor the race. I'll put their logo on my car.
You know what? And maybe they could sponsor the race by making me not pay for this database. I would love that.
Yep.
At least. I mean, I think I'm paying. It is just as a promotion. You as a developer, student, you can afford it. Like I think a base Redis database on Redis Cloud is $4 a month. It's one latte. So now I had to upgrade for Alex running a million races. So I'm paying a little more lattes, but it's still measured in lattes. It's not measured in cars, So Redis is really fast, not that expensive. And if you want to set it up on your laptop, it's not that hard. You can make your own Redis on your own laptop too. It's really, and so I'm a big fan of Redis. Let's show you the code. MuleSoft has a Redis connector, which I would give it. I hate to say it, MuleSoft, but I would give the Redis connector like a 6 out of 10. There's a couple. I'm not too thrilled with it. It does the basic things I need, but it's just not. Some of the other connectors are a little more finished product, but it does work. And I used it for the race. It's fine. It's fine. So this is the actual app. You can see it in GitHub. There's a few new files in here from last season, but there's an archive, and that's because I need to be able to take season data and go put it in a more efficient format for just having history than when you guys are actually running races. So it's using API Kit. This is the actual race. And there's your post. When you do a register, that's what happens. We've put a whole bunch of error handling in to try to make it easier to figure out when you have an error, when you're not winning the race, when you have problems. And if you have a mysterious error when you're running a race, I don't want you to. I want you to actually get a good error message. So if the error is not very helpful, that's a good GitHub issue. I would love to hear about it so I can make the error better. Because there's all kinds of things you can do, and I found a bunch that it's just hard to tell what you did wrong. And that's a bug with my software. That's not your fault if it's hard to tell what you did wrong. So please put an issue if that ever happens. So we have a few of these in here now. We've used Mule error handlers to do that. Here's the start of the race. So the way I do API Kit is usually following this format. This is doing from my real work. I like to make the API configuration file just have a flow reference on all of the different endpoints. That's what we did. Not this one. That's something else. That's the backup. I tried to do backups. And then I put basic HTTP error handling on the API file as well. So I set the body, set the status code, all of that. And I use custom errors, as you can see, like callback unexpected media type, invalid racer ID, invalid URL. So I use custom errors in my flows that bubble up to the API file. And then I use error handlers in my API file to determine what the actual status code and payload is going to be. Same thing for all the flows. So here's the lap flow. And I'm not going to talk much about laps on the stream because that's for you guys to find out. And then there's the finish flow. Laps do slow you down. So it's got to be a trial and error. Let's look at the implementation. This is where Redis actually happens. So like I told you before, Redis is the simple use is just gets and sets. So as you can see, we are tying your racer ID to your Anypoint client ID. And I just try to make it easier so that you don't lose your racer ID or something. Your client ID actually matters. And a racer ID goes with only one client ID. So this is the bit to go generate them and put them in Redis and take them back out. And then when you register a racer, it's going to make you an actual racer record. So if something happens when you register an account, it creates a record for you. And we have a list now as of this season of racers who participate in each season. So as you can imagine, when you see me on this stream again months from now and we're on season 7 or something, maybe we're going to have Easter eggs about participation in previous seasons too, so I'm keeping track of who runs in what season, there it is. And that's a new Redis command, push to list. You haven't seen that one before. So at least on this stream. So there's another data type in Redis that's not just a key value pair. It's a list type. So you can put items in a list, take items out of a list, and that's in Redis. So we have a list called Season 2 Racers. What else? And then when you start your race, we do a whole bunch of I had to tune this a lot, very careful timings so that I try to give you the most grace I can. I try to record the time very early. Like as soon as I know I can catch the time, I catch the time, and now I know, so I can give you the smallest time that you deserve. You know what I mean? And that's here at the beginning of the race. And then I have a season 2 races list. Redis is powerful enough that even if Alex runs 1.5 million races this season, that list type can handle it. Redis is good that way. So we're going to keep a list of all races. And then when you finish a lap, something happens here. And when you finish the whole race, something else happens. And then your final time occurs. And that's the way it's implemented in Redis. Once all that data, the race API just stores races in Redis. And then we have another set of flows that run on schedules. As you can see right now, it's updated every 10 minutes, but I can change that in any point platform in Runtime Manager. We we go pull all the races out. Let me get you that. Um, Here it is. Get finished races. This goes and pulls all the races out of Redis whenever the races are done, or I'm sorry, whenever the schedule runs every 10 minutes, and then we use DataWeave and the Anypoint Exchange APIs to update the Hall of Fame, the homepage, the first to finish, the fastest, all these results pages, and something funny down here at the bottom uh, to determine who's first and second and third. And the data weave is kind of interesting. I may not have, I don't know if I showed this last time, but we have like here's the Hall of Fame. So we built a data weave to make Markdown because Exchange API, to edit an Exchange API portal, you have to use Markdown. So we made a bunch of data weave functions. Yeah, I'll show you the bottom of it. It's kind of easy to see. So look, you guys are memorialized in my code here too, because that was season 1. So you have a Markdown function, and it just appends a bunch of format functions together and puts new lines because Markdown is new line sensitive, right? And then that way I can kind of make each chunk of the Markdown with a function, a data weave function. So here's how you do the lapse results, and here's how you do the headers, So kind of some, I don't know, formatting the Markdown was a surprisingly fun data weave challenge, and I do have a bunch of videos, a bunch of raw footage I recorded about that. If I ever want to make some YouTube video about it, I'll definitely announce it here on the stream. But yeah, that's the way we make the leaderboards. Is we pull data out of Redis, we use data weave to turn it into Markdown, and then we go using the Exchange API, which I can show you a little bit of the Exchange API. We scatter, gather, and update all these pages, and then at the end of the way the Exchange API works, you have to publish a draft, and then you have to create a draft, and then you have to publish. That's the way you make API portals. So that's, where is that? That's down here. So there's a put request that makes the draft, and then there's another patch request that publishes. So kudos to MuleSoft for making API portals editable with API calls. That was so meta, and it's just so elegant that that's the way it works. Like an API portal can be changed using APIs, and MuleSoft told me how to do that with their own API portal, which is the most meta thing ever, right? So there's an API portal for Exchange that tells you how to use API calls to update your own API portals. Good job, MuleSoft, right? So
There
yeah,
are also Postman collections with all of these.
go ahead.
There are also Postman collections.
Yeah.
With the Anypoint platform APIs.
Are they on the portal, or where did you get them?
No, from Postman. I think there's a Salesforce developers workspace or something in Postman, and
Yeah.
they're public, so you can also use them from there.
I should have used those. I read through the portal and made my own Postmans.
Yeah, that works.
Well, I think the Postman collections would have saved me some time. That's good.
And George says, love to see the use of REST connector and not HTTP client connector. I wonder why, though.
Where did I use that? Oh, for the race API. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Where did I don't actually know. Actually, George, I used the REST connector. I could share my screen again.
Yeah, I can show it.
Okay, I thought I turned it off. Yeah, I don't think I used the REST connector in the app. I used the API kit, but the REST connector, I don't remember why I pulled it in. But for the outbound calls for Exchange API, I did not use a REST connector, unfortunately. I don't even remember if I usually do try those first, but in this case, I did not use the REST connector for the Exchange API that I'm doing real stuff with. But I also love the use of REST connector over HTTP client connector, George. And you and I are kindred spirits.
All right. And awesome, you can only register once. You check if previously registered. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know if racers would think they needed to re-register or not, and I didn't want your results to get all split up into different racers, so I just made it idempotent.
I think it's cool because in the last season, I was changing my name a lot, so I would
Yeah.
just use register over and over again. So it's nice that it doesn't create more.
Mhm.
How does the REST connector differ from the HTTP connector?
He changed his name. That's JC again. That's my buddy.
Well, now
And
you know.
yeah, the REST connector, Anypoint Exchange generates it. So when you import an API, which if any of you want to do this right now with the Race API, you can use the REST connector to do that. I don't know how it works with public portals. I'd love to see that because I have access to the real org, so I can search Exchange and get it. But maybe I can get MuleSoft to publish my API in the real MuleSoft Exchange too. I don't know. That'd be cool. But yeah, if you import an API, what there's a connector inside Exchange for every RAML API you publish, um, and then you can just import it as an actual connector, and you get nice little operations for Anypoint Studio for each different thing the API does. I use that for client work, well, almost exclusively. I can't think of the last time I used an HTTP client for a RAML API on a real project.
Hmm,
And now I
that's
feel like
interesting.
the race is becoming a real project. Like I'm treating it
Yeah,
like client work.
yeah, it is. It's so awesome. And George says Salesforce platform Postman collection. I just updated it today for Salesforce Business Rule Engine. Cool.
I don't know. You could update it. Does it take pull requests or something?
I don't know. I think from our side, American and Angel Albercini are the ones that updated from for
Okay.
MuleSoft.
Yeah.
I host Blade, OpenAPI, Google Palm, OAS in my exchange, and I get a REST connector from
For the
them.
rest connectors. Yeah, absolutely. I have done that with OAS. I've found that some OAS needs some love. I need to open it up and edit it to make it work and exchange well. Because a lot of OAS publishers they use that operation name setting, which REST connector doesn't care about. So then I have to
Mm.
put a display name or something like that. But yeah, it's I find that OAS sometimes needs some editing to make good REST connectors, but sometimes it works great. I did my OpenAI integration with the HTTP connector, and I should have done what you did.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to this. I think I will not do anything until I can do a live stream to show what I'm doing for the MuleSoft thing, because I'm also gonna figure it out, and I kind of want to share what I'm figuring out.
Yeah, and I think I made this one hard enough that it would take longer than 20 minutes. So
Yes, definitely.
I don't mean to make it hard, but I don't know. I think there's a trade off, and you guys tell me. But I'd love to hear feedback to the community if it's more fun to quickly have a race win or more fun to actually have a puzzle.
For me, I think this is more fun because last time, like as I said, I just did the Postman thing and I published it with GitHub Actions to run it over and over. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I should do it with MuleSoft because I was done
Yeah,
with Postman. So then I did it with MuleSoft, and again, it took me like 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
there's that. I'm done. I'm just gonna wait for the results.
yeah. I've been holding back. I've got a lot of ideas of ways to make harder races. But I mean, it's kind of like off road versus track, right? Like, so this season we took the Formula One analogy. You could kind of tell that in the graphics and stuff. We want it to be about speed
Hmm.
of executions, how fast your code runs. But we could make it more like an off road, forest. Like you might have a hard. We could make it hard. I could make you do an
Yeah.
AI call or S3 bucket, or I mean, I've thought of all kinds of crazy ideas. So I want the race to be a fun way for people to compete with each other, having fun learning. So what the future seasons are is going to be very influenced by ideas you guys give me back through
Yeah.
Slack and Twitch and LinkedIn. I try to be reachable, and my last name has a very unusual spelling, so you can find me.
Yes. I feel like maybe with because there are different like leadership leaderboards and stuff, maybe you can have one that is easy for people to just try every season so they don't get left behind,
Yeah,
and another one for like people that want to just try to do some more stuff. And then see at the end the leaderboard's like, okay, the regular folks did this, which is cool. They have their own leaderboard, and then these other folks that have a lot of time on their hands, they
Yeah,
did all of these.
not everybody does. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I could see that. Have a 30-minute challenge that everybody can do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pranav says treasure hunt.
Oh, I like that idea.
That would be cool.
I could
Yeah.
have things like that only the first person to that particular milestone ever gets. Like it's gone after that. You took it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And also there's the link to the Postman collection in
I'm
Salesforce.
taking that myself
Yeah.
right now. Thank you.
Alrighty. We still have 10 minutes, so let me just share what I did.
Yeah.
So people can see if they want. First, I'm gonna show the Postman because I think that's easier. So I have here in my profile the part for Anypoint Race API. I'm gonna add here eventually the season 2. So this is the Postman. I have here my environment and my Postman collection. And then in the workflows, I just have the build, and it runs using the CLI, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
the CLI. So it first installs the Postman CLI, and then let me zoom in a little bit. And then
Every
it
time it
logs
runs a
in.
race?
Sorry?
Every time it runs a race, it needs to install it? Or is this just once and then it runs many races?
No, because it's the workflow. It's the
Yeah.
GitHub Actions. So
Mhm.
every time that it runs, it basically creates a new Ubuntu machine.
Yeah.
So it needs to install the Postman CLI. Then it logs into the Postman CLI using my Postman key, and then it runs the tests. Let me move our camera around. And here is just like Postman collection run, and then it runs this collection that I put there. Because I can also do this with the Postman API, but I figured maybe I can just export it here.
Yeah.
And then the environment, which has my credentials, I think. I don't remember what I put there. And then, because I created the Postman collection with all 4 of the endpoints, but I just put here like just run the start and finish and delay. I put 300 because I wanted to see. I did several tests with 500, with 1,000, and so on. And I ended up just leaving 300 to the relay request. And yeah, the count, and that's it. So it runs, in this case, 500 iterations of this thing every time that this runs. And this runs every 10 minutes. So yes, that's what happened here. I have, if I check my GitHub Actions, it's actually running right now. um, and there are all of the runs. It
Yeah.
was a lot. Yeah, so I can stop this now. How do I stop it? I have never stopped one of these before. I guess I can just remove the Chrome, perhaps. Yeah, let's make it on push. And do I have to write main? No.
Is it a branch? I've not been using GitHub Actions, so I'm curious too.
I don't remember. What if I just leave it on push commit? Yeah. Okay. I think that worked. So yes, this, yeah, is running the update because I did the push. So once this finishes and this finishes, it shouldn't run anymore. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. And then, oh, I had this open. And then the Anypoint Race API MuleSoft. So this is a MuleSoft repo. Have my source, main, mule, and It's basically just running the scheduler, um, and then the HTTP request, sending the client secret, client ID, and this is the start. Yeah, because I already did the register and everything, so I'm just doing one HTTP request for start and one HTTP request for finish, and that's it. And this was sent to, I don't even think I have actions here. No, this was sent to Cloud Hub, and it's deployed in Cloud Hub, and it's running every, don't even remember every how much. But also I tried like different times to see what was best, and I get a bunch of errors sometimes, but I'm like, yeah, that's fine, because if it has an error in the start, it will just get out and
Yeah.
not continue, so that's all right. So it was just basically just trying every time that it can.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yes.
Very good. We have a couple of comments.
I wonder what is quicker. We are talking milliseconds to win. REST connector or HTTP connector? I will find out. Let us know, George. And then Ryan, the winner. Internal server error on start, but body says okay.
That is a bug. I don't know if that's already fixed. I have a PR that I haven't merged yet, but I do know that that's a mistake on your end. That's a bad error message. So um, I think what I would do is I just looked at the logs and I'm seeing null pointer exceptions. So it looks like something that you're sending is that you're expected to send is not being sent. But I have, on stream, I'm not sure which one. So if you want to, in your GitHub issue that you make, which it is an issue, just put the request body that you sent, and that would help me resolve it faster. Anytime you have confusing errors like that, that's a real bug. Even if it's a mistake you made, my error is terrible. So send that to me, please. And I can finish the stream, or before we end the stream, I can do a little demo of Mockbin, because it is possible to make it through the whole race without writing an application and deploying it if you use Mockbin. So I
Yeah,
could
for
show
sure.
you guys what I did. Um, give them the hands, the people who want to do it by hand, a little
Yeah,
bit of a something to watch at the end of the stream and know how to do it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for the video, yeah. Okay, well, let me share. Let's do that. And Alex, just if people want to put another comment, we will do live tech support. I'm totally cool with that.
Cool.
All right, so let's go and see why do we need Muckbin, or why do we need a callback for this whole version of the race?
Yep.
Um, you need a callback because when you start a race, you have to provide a URL. The race is going to use that URL to give you your token. It says that in all of this up here, which I learned watching Alex, is that's not everybody's favorite documentation. So what I think I learned from that experience is I'm going to go back to like this nice page that Whitney made, and we're going to put some kind of big, where is it? It's all the way back, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put some kind of big thing on here. You have to make a callback or something. I don't know. I got to think about it, but I want it to be more prominent because it just says it in this little paragraph here. So we're going to make a race token every time you start a race. There's a racer ID, that's you. Sorry. There's a racer ID, that's your identifier. There's a race ID. Every time you start a race, you're going to get a race ID back. And if you look down here, this was where you're going to get your race ID. So this race has its own ID. The one you're starting right now gets its own ID. And then there's a token. That's a third piece of information, right? So when you provide your racer URL here in the request body, it's going to send the race token there. It's not going to give it back to you right here. It's going to give you the race ID, but it's going to send the token onto that URL. And that URL has a requirement. So I have to hit this racer API spec to see what the requirement is. So I'm giving all of you guys a hint here. The racer API, that's what you have to make. It has an endpoint called post token that's supposed to get the token and give back a racer ID. So it needs to give back your actual racer ID in the response. And I don't know if that was too obvious, but yeah, you're going to get the racer ID when you register. So it doesn't change. The racer ID is the same every single race, right? So that's why we get to use MockBin. So let me show you how to use MockBin. Um, and I have a bin here that I already did. So this is what it's going to look like when you use MockBin. I'm going to go create a new one. You don't have to even have a login. You can just go make one. MockBin makes a new URL on their own website that's going to answer with whatever you tell it to. So in my case, let me go get my racer ID here. I don't remember what my racer ID is. So for this demo, I'm going to pretend like I already know what it is. It needs to have a requirement to return a JSON, right? That says, let's go look back at the URL at the requirements here. There's a response. We got to give that back. We have to respond with a racer ID. So I just pasted that in, and the value has to be whatever I got. So this is the ID I received from the register request response. How about that? So you have a racer ID. It needs to always give back that. And the MIME type better be application JSON. And I made a mistake about that the first time and it didn't work. So you have to put the right MIME type on it. And I think I also have to put a header. So I learned this by trial and error. I didn't know this the first time I did MockBin. So now you know you have to put the content type of application JSON also, or it won't work. So do all of that. And this is going to be the new MockBin here. And that's all I had to do. So when I create the bin, it now has this bin. And anytime the race API calls the bin, what's going to happen is you're going to get, and I'm going to go back to my old one so you can see it. You're going to get a record of that time that the API called the MockBin, and lo and behold, your token is going to be there in the request body. So this is where you're going to get your token that you need to use to finish the race, in the request body of the MockBin. So you can go make your own MockBin. It's really good. You don't just have to use this for the race. Anytime you need to test a callback in any integration work, MockBin is really handy for just having a real, it's almost like the mocking service at MuleSoft if you could capture whatever was sent to it, right? That's what this does. It captures whatever was sent to the MockBin and stores it in a history so you can go back and get them. So this is one way to get your, you have to have this token to finish the race. Now, if you're building it in Mule like Alex, you won't have to use MockBin. You can just store it in a variable or object store or something, right? You have all kinds of ways you can do something, but you're going to need to catch this this token. So that's what MockBin. I'm a big fan of it, and I would love MuleSoft if you guys would add this feature, this history feature, to the mocking service on any point platform. Which then I would have used that, but it doesn't have them. It doesn't have a page like this where you can see a history of requests on any point mocking service today. But now that my feature request is in the world, maybe MuleSoft will make that feature or something. So yeah, that's how you can use MockBin. So with MockBin and Postman, you can finish the race if you want to do it that way. But if you want to code it, you might actually win races. This is the slowest way you could possibly do it. So yeah, so that's the way anybody who's ready to run the race and learn it, that's a way to learn it. And then you can write code to do it fast.
Perfect. So Ryan says we better connect. I think we will be mates.
Awesome. I could use help on the race. It is open source. So yeah, connect up with me.
And be careful with using MockBin when using customer data. Request bin offers private.
I don't know about request bin. That's interesting. I'm still not putting my customer data there either, but but yeah, fun data I will. But yeah, I like that they're private. They're not public.
Yeah. Bins are really useful to see what is being sent when you say, but Mule is doing exactly what Postman is doing. Point to both to a bin and you will see how they differ priceless.
And it could be tiny little ways that they differ, which is hard to tell otherwise. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited, and I'm excited to create the live stream to do my stuff, but I will not do it just now. I'm just gonna stop my MuleSoft application from running so it stops sending you requests. I already stopped the postman. It
Mhm.
looks like it did stop. Okay, so cool. Then I'm gonna stop the mule and then I'll do a live stream to demonstrate what I'm doing. Awesome. This is great, Ryan. I love it. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Thank
season
you
two
so
is on.
much.
I can't wait to see how you guys do.
Yes. Do we have a deadline or not really?
Well, last season I ran for about a month, and most of the competition dropped off after 2.5 weeks. I'm still learning about it, but I cannot imagine season two going longer than 2 months. So somewhere between a month and 2 months, you have. I don't want to make it so you have to do it in a weekend. So you know, but there are there is recognition for people who do it fast, very quickly after this stream. So no, you
Yeah.
got a couple of weeks at least, maybe up to 2 months.
All right.
And if everybody, you guys can contact me on the GitHub issues at least. If you want a certain season length, we're only in season two, so we have a lot of freedom to choose how things are going to work, and then future seasons are going to have to match probably. So
Yep. All right. Can you remind me what is the GitHub repo? It
oh
was
yeah, so if you go to you could share your screen too. If you go to the homepage on the API um,
here.
portal, there's a link. Oh no, there's not. I'm wrong. Wait. Oh, I'm on the Racer API. Let me come back to your screen. Yeah. So you see, you can file an issue here. Maybe I'll make a more prominent
Mm.
link, but that's the
Ah,
repo.
okay.
And
Awesome. So let me paste this here so people can also see it. All right. github.com/rheg slash anypoint race API /issues. Awesome. And also you can create pull requests. There's already a pull request. I think that's the one you said, right?
I think that fixes that error that Ryan got. I hope.
Hopefully. Update Easter egg leaderboards.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah. So everyone can go check that out if you want. I already have it saved. But you can also find it here. Remember. And cool. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Ryan. This is
You're
super
welcome.
exciting. Love
And
it.
thanks for racing so hard last season. You made the competition stiff. Stiff competition is fun for some of you racers.
Yay. Awesome. All right. So that's it for this live stream. I can't wait. Wait, do we already have people that finished?
Let's go see.
Uh,
I haven't looked either. You can tell you go to
no.
the way I look is I go to Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Season 2 is underway.
But I have a API. Somebody just requested a higher SLA tier. That's interesting.
Nice.
So
Alrighty. Okay, so we'll see then who does best at season 2. And for everyone, remember to follow us on twitch.tv/MuleSoft_community so you can see all of our previous recordings, our schedule, and get notifications as soon as we are live. I believe next week we'll continue doing some ACV stuff with some PMMs or PMs. I'm not sure who yet, but we will see some ACV desktop on Tuesday. So stay tuned. Tuesday, same time. I will see you here with some ACV content. Cool. Actually, I'm wondering if maybe I can do this in ACV only. That would be cool. All
that would be
right.
cool. I have to learn ACB myself, so maybe I'll race with it. But I don't want to race against you guys. That's not fair. Yeah, actually, if you guys are fast enough, maybe I will because I don't know if I could beat you.
I mean, yeah, you can try.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, and I will see everyone on Tuesday.
See everybody.
Bye
Bye.
bye.